Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay solving quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. Okay. Pag sinabing quadratic equations, ito ay may standard form na ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and ang a ay hindi equals to 0. Ito nga pala ang quadratic formula. It is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, gagamitin natin ang formula na ito para mag-solve tayo ng mga quadratic equations. Okay, halimbawa meron tayong x squared plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Ang equation na ito ay nakasulat na into standard form. Kaya i-identify muna natin yung mga values ng a, b, at c. So, ang value ng a dito ay 1. Ang value naman ng b ay positive 2. At ang value naman ng c ay negative 8. Pagkatapos, ipa-plug in natin itong mga to or substitute sa quadratic formula. Sulat ko lang ulit yung quadratic formula dito para hindi natin makalimutan, no? Or may masundan tayo. This is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Maganda na memorize ito at eventually naman memorize natin kung lagi natin siyang ginagamit, no? So, again, we will have x. So, ipa-plug in ko yung b. So, huwag kakalimutan. Ito yung laging nagkakamali mga estudyante na nakakalimutan yung negative sign dito. So, we have 2 para sa b plus or minus the square root of, so we have, again, b that is 2 squared minus 4 times yung a ay 1. Ang c naman ay negative 8. Okay, it's still under the square root symbol. Then 2 times a, which is 1. Okay, and then simplify lang natin yan. So that will be x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4. So, copyin ko lang muna yung minus sign. 4 times 1 is 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. No? So, negative 32 yan. All over 2 times 1 is 2. Then, simplify natin itong nasa loob ng square root symbol. 4 minus negative 32 magiging plus na yan. So, that should be plus 36. Square root of 36. So, we have negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 36 all over 2. Ang square root ng 36 ay 6. So, we will have, dito ko na ilalagay, x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus square root of 36 is 6. So, 6 na susulat ko dyan, all over 2. Now, since meron tayong plus or minus dyan, pag-ihiwalayin ko na lang yan. Ibig sabihin, dalawang values para sa x. Yung isa ay x equals negative 2 plus 6 over 2. Tapos ang isa naman ay equals negative 2 minus negative 2 minus 6 over 2. Okay? So, dito muna tayo sa kaliwa. Negative 2 plus 6 is positive 4. So, we have x equals 4 over 2 or x is equal to positive 2. While the other one naman, negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. So, x is equal to negative 4. Ayan. So, we have the answers. The solutions are 2 and negative 4. Okay? Tingnan natin yung iba pang examples natin. Okay, dito sa pangalawang example natin, meron tayong 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. By the way, malaking gamit ng quadratic formula lalo na kung mahirap i-factor. Kagaya nitong given example natin, hindi mo siya agad maiisipan ng mga factors. Okay? So, nakasulat na ito into standard form. Identify ko muna yung values ng a, b, and c. Maganda na isusulat natin itong mga values ng mga to para hindi tayo masyadong nalilito. No? Minsan kasi nagkakamali tayo sa mga signs, ganyan, or sa mga numbers na ini-input natin kapag hindi natin to naisusulat. Ayan, at least dito meron tayong mga listahan. Then, plug in na lang natin sa quadratic formula. So, in this case, we have x is equal to yung negative b. So, negative. Ang b ay negative 5. So, lalagyan ko ng parenthesis muna to indicate na meron tayong negative 5. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. So, we have quantity negative 5 squared. Okay. Minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, no? Times a times c. Ang c ay 2 din. Okay. Divided by 2 times a. So, ang a ay 2 pa rin. So, 2 times 2. Then, simplify natin. So, we have x is equal to, negative ng negative 5 is positive 5 na yan, plus or minus, the square root of negative 5 squared is 25, minus 4 times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So, 25 minus 16 yung nasa loob ng square root symbol. Sa denominator naman, meron tayong 4. Okay? So, next, simplify further. We have 5. Plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 16 is 9. Okay? All over 4. Okay. Square root of 9 is equal to 3. Therefore, we have x is equal to 5 plus or minus 3. Mawawala na yung square root symbol, of course. All over 4. Again, kagaya kanina, pag-ihiwalayin natin yung plus at saka minus. Susulat ko muna yung may plus. Dito, x is equal to 5 plus 3 over 4. Okay? So, x is equal to 5 plus 3 is 8 over 4 is equal to 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. Alright. And then, yung isa naman, we have x is equal to 5 minus 3 over 4. And 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 over 4 is equal to 1/2. No? So, meron tayong 1/2 dito. So, the solutions for this quadratic equation are 2 and 1/2. Okay? Okay, sa pangatlong example natin, meron tayong 2n squared plus 13n equals negative 2. Ang equation na ito ay hindi nakasulat sa standard form. Okay, basically dapat pag standard form equals sa 0 to, yung nasa kanan. Tapos yung kumpleto dapat dito, or meron tayong quadratic term, okay, linear term, and the constant term, nandito lahat yan sa kaliwa. So itong negative 2 na ito, kailangan ilipat lang natin siya sa kanan. Since negative siya dito, magpa-plus 2 tayo both sides, magiging plus 2 na siya sa kaliwa. Okay? So we will have 2n squared plus 13n plus 2, and then 0 na yung sa kanan. Ayan, naka-standard form na siya, and then identify natin yung values ng a, b, and c para may madali natin silang ma-recognize. Ang a ay b, ang a ay 2, ang b ay 13, ang c naman ay positive 2. Okay? And then, plug in natin sa formula. Okay, so we have, ang n ang gamit na variable, so n is equal to negative 13 plus or minus the square root of, we have 13 squared minus 4 times 2 times 2 ulit, kasi 2 yung c, and then divided by 2 times a. Okay, 2 times 2. Next, simplify natin. So we have n equals negative 13 plus or minus square root of, ang 13 squared is 169. 13 times 13 is 169 minus 4 times 2 times 2. 4 times 2 times 2 is 16. No? Tama? Okay? Then, divided by 4. Okay. So we have n equals negative 13 plus or minus 169 over 16 is 154. So 154 over 4. So isusulat natin siya basically as negative 13 plus square root of 154 over 4. Pagkatapos naman yung isang solution natin would be n equals negative 13 minus the square root of 154 over 4. Okay? So, yan yung mga solutions ng ating quadratic equation. We have negative 13 plus square root of 154 divided by 4. And the other one is negative 13 minus the square root of 154 over 4. Pangapat na example natin, we have y squared equals 3y minus 1. Again, hindi ito nakasulat into standard form. So, ayusin lang natin. Meron tayong positive 3y dito at saka negative 1. So, lilipat ko lang lahat ng yan dito sa kaliwa through additive inverse. So, basically, itong positive 3y magiging negative 3y dito. Ito namang negative 1 magiging plus 1. Okay, tapos equal sa 0 na yung nasa kanan. So, we will have y squared minus 3y plus 1 equals 0. Ayan. So, naka-standard form na siya. Identify naman natin ngayon yung values ng A, B, at saka C. So, ang value ng A ay 1, since walang nakasulat dito. Ang value naman ng B ay negative 3. Ang value ng C ay positive 1. Pagkatapos, ipa-plug in natin yung mga yan sa quadratic formula. So, we have y is equal to negative of negative 3 kasi ang B ay negative 3 plus or minus the square root of ang B ay negative 3, so we have negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1. Okay? All over 2 times 1. 2 times 1. Yan. And then simplify na lang natin. We have y equals, the negative of negative 3 is positive 3. No? Negative times negative is positive. So we have 3 plus or minus square root of negative 3 squared, positive na yun yan. Okay? Minus 4 times 1 times 1 is equal to 4. Divided by 2 times 1 is 2 sa denominator. Okay? Simplify further, we will have y equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 4 is 5 all over 2. Okay? Wala naman ng square root ang 5 na whole number, hindi perfect square ang 5. Therefore, ito na ang magiging sagot natin. Ano? Paghihiwalayin lang natin yung plus or minus. So, we have y equals 3 plus square root of 5 over 2. Tapos, yung isa naman ay y equals 3 minus square root of 5 over 2. Yan. So, the solutions for the given quadratic equation are 3 plus square root of 5 over 2 at 3 minus square root of 5 over 2. Okay? Tingnan natin yung iba pang example natin. Okay, ang example natin ay 18m plus 4m squared equals 10. Again, hindi ito nakasulat into standard form. So, ayusin muna natin, ano? Lipat muna natin tong 10 dito sa kaliwa. So, positive 10 yan, magiging negative 10 dito sa kaliwa. Pagkatapos ayusin din natin, dapat laging nauuna yung merong square, yung may squared o yung may power na 2. So, dapat nauunang isulat yan, 4m squared. Positive 18 yan, so plus 18m. And then, plus 10 yan, so magiging minus 10 equals 0. Ayan, naka-standard form na siya. Then, identify natin yung values ng A, B, at saka C. Ang value ng A ay 4. Ang value ng B ay positive 18. Ang value naman ng C ay negative 10. Okay, do not worry kung malaking mga numbers yan. Actually, kayang-kaya natin yan i-simplify. Okay, so we have negative B, so negative 80 plus or minus the square root of 18 squared. Di ko nalalagyan ng parenthesis since positive naman yung 18. Minus 4 times A, which is 4. And C is negative 10. Okay? Ayusin ko lang to. All over 2 times 4. Ayan. Kasi A natin ay 4. Then, simplify lang natin. So, we have M equals negative 18 plus or minus the square root of 18 squared is 324. Okay? Pag nahihirapan, don't worry. Actually, pwede naman natin i-calculator yan. Okay, minus 4 times 4 is 16 times 10 is 160. Pero negative 10 yun, so negative 160 ang ilalagay ko rito. Alright. Then we have 8 sa denominator kasi 2 times 4. Simplify further, we have m equals negative 18 plus or minus the square root of 324 plus 160. Okay. And then divided by all over 8. Yan. So we have m is equal to negative 18 plus or minus the square root of 324 plus 160 is 484. No? All over 8. Luckily, merong square root ng 484. Ang square root ng 484 ay 22. So we can just write it as m equals negative 18 plus or minus 22. Again, wala na yung square root. Common mistake kasi yun, kaya ina-emphasize ko. Nilalagyan pa rin ng square root symbol ng mga estudyante ng iba. Pero pag kinuha na natin yung square root ng isang number, of course, mawawala na yung symbol na yan. Okay? And then, pag ihiwalayin natin yung plus or minus, plus and minus. So, yung una, we have m equals negative 18 plus 22 over 8. Okay? So, m is equal to negative 18 plus 22 is positive 4 over 8. Simplify natin yan, 4 over 8. Divisible sila pareho by 4. So, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So, that is just equal to 1/2. And then, the other one, we have m is equal to negative 18 minus 22 all over 8. Negative 18 minus 22, i-add natin yan. No? Negative 18 minus 22 is negative 40. Negative 40 divided by 8 is equal to negative 5. Okay? So, ang mga solutions ng given equation natin ay positive 1/2 tsaka negative 5. Okay? Sana marami kayong natutunan sa ating lesson ngayon. Okay, sana at huwag kakalimutang mag-like, subscribe at mag-share sa ating mga kaibigan para marami pa tayong matulungan. Lagi kayong mag-iingat. God bless you.